going to go down here. We're going to do today's
another great tech corner. I'm going to give you the
actually
iPad
an interesting tech, interesting tech corner. You know, one of the things that we've talked a lot about on this show, and actually we've talked about it a little bit today, is one of the big movements within the quality industry has been actually recently, 10, 15 years, within the healthcare industry, where there's been a lot of effort being put to reduce medical errors. One of the most prevalent type of medical errors are actually medication errors, because they're so simple to do. It's so easy to make a a medication error.
Yep.
And there is a technology out there that has been around forever. It's called a barcode scanner. These things have been around for what, 50 years?
Yeah,
maybe 50 years
yeah.
in retail, manufacturing, warehousing, that sort of thing. And these are making big inroads now into healthcare. And if you've been in a hospital recently, some hospitals, what you've seen is something like this. You have the nurse comes in and she scans your wristband, which has a barcode on it. Then she scans your chart. Why? Wants to make sure that the chart is for that patient. If it's the wrong chart and it's not for that patient, then it's apples and oranges, right? And if it isn't the same, if they don't line up, her software will give her a beep and say, hey, wait a minute, you got the wrong chart here.
Right.
More important, and we've all seen this, I think, hopefully you've seen this, in a hospital, scans your wristband, scans the medication. Why? Because if the medication doesn't line up, the software will raise a flag and say, wait a minute, that medication doesn't seem to be for this patient. Further step in that, scans his or her badge.
Right.
Now what do you have? You have an electronic trail that says this nurse delivered this medication to this patient at this particular time. And it's all electronic. All of this goes toward error proofing. At the pharmacy level, been used for inventory control in pharmacy a lot, but it's also being used now to check for, again, for medication errors at the prescribing level. Very often a doctor or somebody will prescribe a medication for a patient, maybe not being aware that they have an allergy or that they're taking other drugs. If that information, allergy information and other drugs, are on that patient's chart, then when the pharmacist scans the drug, scans the patient's chart, the software verifies that, number one, no allergies. Number two, is there possible drug interactions? If there are, raises the flag. The pharmacist can go back to the doctor and say, wait a minute, we got a problem here. So, very useful for error proofing in the healthcare industry. So we're going to take a look at one particular product today. This is the Wasp WWS450H 1D and 2D barcode scanner for the healthcare industry. Now, you'll notice this is a lovely healthcare institutional white. You see this color a lot. I didn't realize this until Wasp told me. There's actually a reason, number one, for this color. Obviously, it very easily shows up dirt, but it's also a special type of plastic, and it's a type of plastic that's used very often within healthcare. I just thought this was interesting. This is an antimicrobial plastic, so that nasties don't grow on the outside of the case, or it helps minimize that from happening. Also, it's a type of plastic that can withstand a lot of wipe down with alcohol, because obviously these things are constantly being wiped down with alcohol. Not just this, but pretty much many medical instrument, electronic instrument. And certain types of plastic will break down after a while with constant alcohol exposure. So it's just something to make these a little bit more sanitary. Okay, so this particular unit comes with a base, and the base can be mounted on a desk, or it can be mounted on a wall. This is the scan unit. The scan unit will operate up to 160 feet line of sight. Now, in my own testing, I saw that I got about 60 feet away, but that was around a corner, up some stairs, through several walls. So what we're talking about is that your mileage may vary depending on your particular application.
Right.
But here's the important thing. Should you get too far away, should the scanner get too far away from the base, you'll get an audible indication on the scanner. That's okay. It's just telling you, hey, you're disconnected from the base. This scanner can actually continue to take data. You won't get all the error checking, maybe communicating with your software, but if you're doing inventory, you could continue to scan maybe the medicines in your medical storage, your medicine storage, and still continue to take inventory. When you come back within contact of the scanner, of the base, it's going to download that information. 16 hours on a charge, 4-foot drop onto a concrete floor, so it's very rugged. But here's the cool thing about it. It doesn't have to operate with the base. It is Bluetooth enabled. Another thing we're seeing within healthcare is the adoption of, again, tablets and smartphones in order to do a lot of the stuff that laptops have been doing. So this particular device, I'm going to turn it on right now, goes to sleep after a couple minutes, and it's going to pair via Bluetooth with my iPad here.
Hold that for you.
That little beep just told me it's paired with my iPad. And let me get going here. We'll just, there you go. If you'll hold that,
sure, I'll hold that for
me. See, okay, and what I'm going to do is I got a little bottle of medication here. I just want to show that we can do a, and we're on the gauge cam here, are we? Okay, great. And all I'm going to do is do a quick, get this up here where everybody can see it. I'm going to do a quick scan. Whoop. There we go. And you can see that the data wrote onto my iPad. I'll do it again. If you're looking at the bottom line of the iPad, you'll see I'll do a scan. And this is actually a very simple thing. It's just communicating this data, acting like a keyboard into the iPad and simply transferring the data. And the nice thing about this is I can carry my iPad or my smartphone. By the way, this works with the Bluetooth pairing works with iPad, iPhone, and Android, and I believe it has to be Android 4.0 operating system or greater.
Okay.
But now it means you don't have to carry around a laptop. You've got your computer or your phone and your scanner, and you can go around, take these with you wherever you go. So it's just, to me, what's fascinating about this, I mean, everybody's seen barcode scanners. This is a 1D and a 2D scanner. They've been around forever. I just love that this technology that's been around forever is becoming integrated into error proofing within the healthcare industry. It's one of those things that just makes sense.
It's just a logical extension of the capability of the technology, which is what we love to see people use. I mean, why reinvent the wheel if there's a solution out there that works and can be adapted for your particular application? Hey, go for it, right?
Go for it, exactly.
That's exactly the way we like to see it. So that's great. Good.
And again, just to reiterate, that was the Wasp WWS 450H. I have that right? Yes, 450H 2D healthcare scanner.
And we have information on that scanner right below the player?
Right below the main player. There's a link at the bottom if you want to go out and get some more info on it.
On the Wasp. Great. Well, thank you, Dirk, and thank you to the good folks at Wasp for providing that scanner to us.